Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachahakorash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations as always to the elect. And I wanted to do a lesson dealing with the doctrine that the full moon is the new moon. All right. Now, when you go into the Holy Scriptures, we know that the new moon, okay, is day one of a Hebrew month. All right. Moon and month are synonymous. Okay. As a matter of fact, when you type in new moon, see here. Let's go to this example here. In Isaiah 66. All right, and this is speaking of in the kingdom. It says, and it shall come to pass that from one moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me. So we know the new moon, okay, from one new moon to another, the new moon, okay, is synonymous with the month. Now, when you go to the Hebrew, the word here for new moon, okay, is Chadash. Chadash, all right? It says the new moon monthly, the first day of the month. So when you deal with the Hebrew Israelite month, okay, it is a new moon. The new moon is day one of a Hebrew Israelite, all right, calendar month, okay? So when you deal with the Passover, all right, we have lessons breaking down, the new moon and the weekly Sabbath. If you need understanding on that, Lord willing, I can just put the video on the comment board to this video, and you be edified. If I don't remember, just ask, and I'll provide the link, because I don't want to go too deep into that. Now, the Holy Scriptures does say that we are to judge no man in meat or drink, and keeping of a holy day. All right. And eat and drink isn't meaning, you can eat whatever the hell you want. It's just that the feast days are synonymous with eating and drinking. Okay. So it's not saying like Christians say you can just eat what the hell you want. All right. However, we do, all right, provide the truth of the matter. All right. Because there's no way the full moon could be the new moon. Okay. The full moon in no way can be the first day of a Hebrew Israelite calendar month. And here's the proof. When you deal with the Passover now, for you brothers and sisters who keep the Passover the way that we keep it here at Great Millstone, which was taught to us by our apostles and elders, okay, you'll notice every Passover that we keep, it's a full moon, all right? I know and I remember distinctively, every year that we keep the Passover, usually it's a full moon, okay? Or right at the full moon. So when you deal with this is Leviticus 23 and the 5th verse, okay? Because we didn't deal with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and ancient Israel, all right? When we were in the wilderness, the way we kept up with the days was by what? The moon, okay? That's how we followed and understood when a new month came in, what day we were in a week, all right? And when you see a new moon, you know that you're automatically in the middle of the month. Two weeks have passed. When you see a new moon, you know automatically that 14 days have passed. So when you see here in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, it says, in the 14th day of the first month at evening, all right, which is technically the 15th day, is even the Lord's Passover. Okay. So let's read this again in the NLT. Yahweh's Passover begins at sundown on the 14th day of the first month. Okay? The 14th day of the first month is always going to be a full moon if you follow the lunar calendar. All right, and all you have to do is look it up. Give me 1 second here. All right, they call it the ecclesiastical moon. All right, the ecclesiastical full moon. It says an ecclesiastical full moon is formally the 14th day of the ecclesiastical lunar month. Okay, an ecclesiastical moon and an ecclesiastical lunar calendar, and so forth. And just look this up. Okay, let's see if we can get some images here. Yeah, the full moon is the 14th day. And if anyone believes otherwise, put it on the comment board so that I can learn. Okay, when you go to a Hebrew Israelite calendar, okay, if day one is the new moon, which is barely visible, that's why it's new, and then it waxes, all right, and then it wanes, all right. So at the middle of the month, you're always going to get a full moon, and that's the 14th day. All right. So how in the hell, okay, when we deal with this understanding, because a lot of this comes from the book of Enoch as well. All right. And the other calendars like the Jubilee, you have Israelites that are into that. All right. And we're just here to tell you the truth of the matter. There is no way the full moon could be the new moon. Okay, the new moon in a Hebrew Israelite calendar is day one. Okay, so how in the hell's hell can you dictate the weekly Sabbath if the new moon is day one? Well, you have some saying, well, the new moon is day one, but we go by another calendar to get the weekly Sabbath. So if the new moon is day one, if the new moon comes in, all right, on a Monday sundown, okay, that means the Sabbath for that week is going to be Monday sundown to Tuesday sundown. So if the new moon comes in on a Monday sundown, you see, how can the Sabbath then be Friday sundown to Saturday sundown permanently? It doesn't make any sense. But we have videos on that. But I just wanted to deal, okay, with the Lord's Passover, which we're coming into this Sunday at sundown. All right, look up into the sky and tell me how the moon looks. Okay, you can come back to this video and paste a comment. So if we're Israelites following the scriptures, on the 14th day of the first month is the Lord's Passover at sundown. Okay? And on the 15th day of the same month is the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Okay? From that point on, you're supposed to get all the leaven out of your house. You're not supposed to eat anything with leavening in it. Okay? All of those things in your houses, you get them out. Now, if you live, of course, with a roommate or you live with a parent, then, some people, go get hotels, but not every brother and sister is, able to do that. So what you do is just pray to Yahweh Shema Shai for mercy, which we're just rehearsing the righteous acts. None of these holy days we keep are going to get us saved. All right. And we're Israelites, so we do these things out of ritual. Just as the scriptures say, we will rehearse the righteous acts. But I just wanted to touch on that. The 14th day. All right, let's just type in the Passover full moon. Let's see what comes up on that subject. Passover full moon. Let's see what this says. Passover is a spring festival. So the 15th day of Nisan, okay, typically begins on the night of a full moon after the northern vernal equinox. Okay, somebody asks, why is the Passover on a full moon? Okay, so the full moon, according to the Bible, cannot be day one. It doesn't make sense. Okay, and the Bible talks about the new moon, so you can't just throw the moon out as if it has nothing to do with how we track time or how we deal with our months. Even in the kingdom, from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, because the new moon is synonymous with the Sabbath of that month. I mean, we didn't have a Gregorian calendar in the wilderness or back at the time, of Adam, to where we said, okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. No. Okay, because the new moon could fall on any of those days according to Esau's Gregorian calendar. See? And when Yahushua was on the scene, was he following the Julian calendar of that day? No. That was based upon an eighth day week, and they did the days by letters. Okay? Yahushua, who was perfect in the law, he kept the ways of his fathers. Okay? So, and he kept the Passover. Okay? So, the festival of the true Israelites, the Jews, okay, the festival of Passover is held on the 15th day, which is the 14th day at evening of the Hebrew month of Nisan, a lunar month determined by the moon's phases. So the Passover is always on a full moon. Okay? And we don't deal with Easter. Okay? The Passover is always on a full moon. Right. Which, according to the Bible, okay, according to the Bible, the Passover is on the 14th day of the first month, which is Nisan, at evening. Okay? Now, let's see here. Let's go, let's see what it says. So that's Leviticus 23 and 5. Let's see if we can get it here. See what so-called scholars have to say. Because how can the new moon, or how could the full moon be the new moon? The full moon is not day one of a Hebrew Israelite month. So I don't know where these individuals are. I know it's in the book of Enoch, but it's kind of weird that doctrine just popped up out of nowhere. Leviticus 23 and 5. Okay, on the 14th day of the first month, the month of Nisan, the same with Abib, the month in which the children of Israel came out of Egypt, in which reason it was made the first month in the year, answering to part of our March and part of April, the same reason, all right, as the Passover was kept. All right, so I'm not going to waste too much time on this, okay, but, when you get into the scriptures, there's no Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You never see that in the Bible, okay? But what you do see is day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, okay? And more proof that the new moon is day 1 is clearly in this story here with David and Saul, okay? In 1 Samuel 20. In David in 5, it says, and David said unto Jonathan, behold, tomorrow is the new moon, and I shall not fail to go to the king at meat, because on new moons, a lot of times there was a feast, all right, and a meeting of the minds of the leadership, But as you can see, the new moon, all right, was going to be the next day. Now, as you keep reading in this story, let's see here. I know it's in this story. Second day. Let's just talk. I know it's in this same chapter. Let's see here. Give me one. Boom. The same chapter. Okay. If the new moon is day 1, all right, 1 Samuel's 20 and 27, and on the second, and it came to pass on the morrow, which was the second day of the month, that David's place was empty. So this was after the new moon, which was the first day. The next day was the second day of the month. That's how we counted our days. But anyway, I just wanted to deal with that, how the Passover itself is always going to be on the 14th day of the first month, which is always a full moon. So we'll come back to this video, so you brothers and sisters can start to see it for yourself and start to understand how to, when you see a full moon, you're in the middle of the month. It's not day 1. Doesn't make sense. Shalom.